Here's the news for this evening. Crime Chief Wendell Blenheim goes on leave. What will it take to fix Guyana's backlog of court cases? President of the Caribbean Court of Justice weighs in. Plans for upgraded road networks shared with Sophia residents. New Canadian High Commissioner to Guyana arrives, and we have the exclusive interview.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Granville Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. It might be mere coincidence, but Crime Chief Wendell Blenheim has gone on leave. The development comes days following the submission of the final report from the Commission of Inquiry, which probed the police investigation into the plot to assassinate President David Granger. The official word from senior officers of the Guyana Police Force is that Crime Chief Wendell Blenheim has proceeded on accumulated leave until December 2017. However, many observers are reading into the decision, pointing out that it seems odd that the crime chief is proceeding on leave shortly following the submission of the final report from the Commission of Inquiry into the plot to assassinate President David Granger. Assistant Commissioner David Ramnarine had told the Commission that the investigations into the assassination plot were poorly conducted and that Crime Chief Wendell Blenheim was influenced by Police Commissioner Silal Prasad, who was on leave at the time. Blenheim rebuffed claims made by Ramnarine, describing them as, quote, deliberate falsehoods. He denied responsibility for releasing the alleged mastermind behind the plot, Nizam Khan, on bail. Andrif Gilliard alleged that Nizam Khan had, in June of 2015, offered him 6 to 7 million Guyana dollars to kill President Granger. Minister of State Joseph Harmon had already stated that the report points to certain areas which require reform in the Guyana Police Force and which will be the subject of the British Advisor on Security Sector Reform in Guyana. Cabinet is expected to release the report to the public shortly. Observers are not questioning whether Blenheim will return to the force, but they are questioning if he will return as the crime chief. Blenheim was appointed crime chief in May of 2015, taking over the post from Leslie James. Senior Superintendent and Commander of the Police F Division, Ravindranath Budram, will now serve as acting crime chief. Guyana is notorious for delayed justice. The March 2016 fire at Camp Street Prison, which left 18 inmates dead, was attributed in large part to the frustration of the men who thought that their freedoms were being denied due to the delays with their respective court cases. Additionally, after the July 9th fire, which destroyed the prison, many of the inmates had to be released even without visiting the courts. Today, the President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, Sir Charles Dennis, spoke to this issue. Wendell Jeffrey reports.
President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, Sir Charles Dennis, believes that the non-use of technology is contributing to the backlog of cases in the judiciary. In his comments on the sidelines of the PANCAP conference held today at the Marriott Hotel, Sir Charles carefully noted that he does not want to get embroiled in the local politics surrounding the issue of backlogs.
I don't want to comment on matters which that might be politically controversial. So if you'll permit me to sort of nuance your question and look at it from a purely judicial perspective, I prefer to do that. You see, I have been a strong advocate, even before I took up this position, against the elimination of delay in the judicial process.
Sir Charles said that there needs to be an attitude change in the ways the courts use technology.
I said that we have reached a stage now where the courts must engage in electronic communication with litigants.
He said that everybody in Guyana has access to technology, which should be used to reduce the massive backlog of cases.
A lot of the difficulties encountered and delay will be eliminated if the existing technology was applied to the court processes.
The CCJ president said that the courts need to be managed better, and they also need to begin to act like any modern entity.
I also feel that the systems of managing cases, the court should operate like any other modern enterprise and use best management practices in dealing with this caseload. And this must be supported by available technology. As far as our court is concerned, we have implemented the highest standards of case management and good practices. So I was able to say, for example, that in our court there is no backlog, that every case that was filed before the 1st of June this year has already been heard.
Sir Charles was knighted in 2000 by Queen Elizabeth II. He also serves as the president of the Commonwealth Judicial Educational Institute and is the former president of the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. He is a former Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Residents of Sophia have been briefed about plans to divert some $30 million to undertake a road network upgrade and expansion program in the community. Here is more. On Sunday, the Central Housing and Planning Authority held a public consultation in Sophia. The event addressed the upgrade of the road network upgrade and expansion program planned for the community.
So the government and the IDB has taken a decision to reformulate the program and to divert some of the original funds to have some housing-related development done. So there will still be some aspects of the Sheriff Mandela Avenue road project that will take place. But some of the funds will now be diverted into developing or consolidating some of our existing areas. And the first area we're going to be starting with is the area that is commonly known to many Guyanese as quote-unquote Safari.
That was Donnell Bess Bascom of the CHNPA. The IDB has given the government of Guyana the go-ahead to divert some $30 million from the stalled Mandela Sheriff Street expansion project to the construction of a series of infrastructure and developmental projects in several communities in North and South Sophia. CHNPA engineer Randolph Hunt describes some of the proposed projects.
By providing all the basic amenities that a community should have, such as quality roads, quality drainage, lighting, street walks, playgrounds, and also assisting with home improvement and the construction of core houses.
Before construction starts, the Ministry of Communities is seeking the input of stakeholders in the community. Residents in attendance made full use of the opportunity to ask questions and share concerns.
Now, they build the parapets higher than the roads. So when the rain falls, the roads gather water and it breaks the road up fast. So what I would like you to do, I don't know if you have more engineers like you are, more supervisors, that whenever they're doing the roads, if they could build it in the oval and cut drains at its two sides so that the water could run off.
This is the first in a series of consultations with communities in the North and South Sophia area. Coming up on Headline News after the break, we have an exclusive interview with the new Canadian High Commissioner to Guyana and recognizing persons who take the fight to HIV/AIDS. Stay with us.
What? What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Styles, simply different.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home. We also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Today at the Marriott, the Canadian Oil and Gas Trade Commission met for the launch of their activities here in Guyana. Present at that meeting was the incoming Canadian High Commissioner. Tomorrow, she will present her credentials to President Granger and officially begin her tour of duty. Our reporter, Wendell Jeffrey, spoke exclusively with her and filed this report.
Ms. Lillian Chatterjee will present her credentials to His Excellency President David Granger tomorrow and will assume her post as the new Canadian High Commissioner to Guyana. In an exclusive interview, she told Channel 2 Headline News that she has visited the Caribbean before, but never Guyana.
Well, I've been all of 2 days in Guyana, and I'm just delighted to be here. It's been a wonderful opportunity. I'm looking forward to my tenure here, and I feel very privileged to be here.
Ms. Chatterjee began her career as a journalist and said that she has never before served as a High Commissioner.
This is my first time as a High Commissioner, and but I have lived around the world, and I was originally with the Canadian International Development Agency and now part of Global Affairs Canada, and I bring my international development background to this position.
Lillian Chatterjee is replacing Dr. Nicole Giles and will be in Guyana as the chief Canadian diplomat for the next 3 years. She said that she has come here alone, but plans to embrace Guyana as her new family.
I've come alone. Well, my family is now Guyana. Okay.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The Guyana National Bureau of Standards focuses on standards development, implementation, and consumer protection. Now, the GNBS has launched a new initiative to educate school children about standards. Here's more.
Standards influence Standards control our markets, and in strategic terms, if you control industry standards, you control industry's luck, stock, and ledger.
That was National Director of the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, Candell Walcott Boswick. The GNBS focuses on standards development, implementation, and consumer protection. But what good are standards if no one understands what they are? With this in mind, the GNBS has also taken the responsibility of educating the public on standards. This comes in the form of a pilot program targeting primary schools in Regions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. To aid in this venture, the organization has published its first informational booklet for school children. Ms. Walcott Boswick emphasized the importance of enabling children to conceptualize standards irrespective of what career aspirations they may have.
For example, a doctor must know that in order to make accurate diagnosis, he must utilize the services of an accredited laboratory. A civil engineer must know that in order to build provide quality building works to his customers, he must use certified building materials and the approved building codes. A farmer must know that he must conform to good agriculture practices.
Allison Butters Grant, chair of the GNBS, described how educating children provides immediate benefits for the family.
So when our children go to the markets with their mother or father or caregiver, and they see the vendor using inappropriate scales, they can say to their parent, we are not going to buy from there. Let's look for the correct measurement that we should be using.
Guyana is in a unique position regarding standards. Due to its British colonial past, dry goods are often sold in pounds on roads measured in kilometers. For the sake of ease, this program will teach primary school students standards in both imperial and metric units. But globalization is the buzzword of the day, and its standard is the metric system. As such, the Bureau would like schools to incorporate comprehensive lessons on the metric system in the nation's curriculum. PANCAP is focusing on champions for change, those who are fulfilling their role in advocating for the reduction of discrimination against HIV/AIDS victims. Wendell Jeffrey files this report.
PANCAP, the Pan-Caribbean Partnership Against HIV and AIDS, hosted their opening ceremony at the Marriott Hotel today. The focus of the seminars will be the relaunch of the initiative Champions for Change. Featured speaker at the event, Minister Nicolette Henry, said that the initiative is a significant one in the fight to end AIDS in the Caribbean.
This initiative is paramount to achieving the United Nations goal of ending AIDS by the year 2030. This initiative, I believe, can leverage the substantial gains in the HIV response in this region.
The Executive Director of St. Lucia's AIDS Action Foundation, Ms. Joan Dider, expressed gratitude on the progress that PANCAP has made. In her brief presentation, she told the story of a man and his wife who were both HIV positive and suffered intense discrimination.
I'm going to tell you a little story. It comes from the island of Antigua. He had affiliated himself to a support group of people living with and affected by HIV. And through that had empowered himself and recognized what is rightful. And that empowerment helped him to empower his partner. And so between the two of them, they were able to seek redress and have the situation diminished.
Sir Charles Byron, President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, reminded the audience that the Caribbean stands out as the leader for the elimination of the mother-to-child transfer of HIV. He noted that Cuba was the first country in the world to eliminate the transfer of HIV from mother to child. Speaking on the issue of stigma and discrimination, Sir Byron quoted Professor Clive Nandis.
We have a choice. We either change our message, or we must accept the status quo, where fear and stigma rule our hearts and minds.
15 recipients were awarded for their championing of the reduction of AIDS in their respective fields across the Caribbean. The two-day conference will include discussions on going beyond stigma and discrimination of AIDS, why relaunching the Champion for Change initiative is important to ending AIDS in the Caribbean, and the presentation of the findings on case studies on the LGBTI issues. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Still ahead, the top regional and international news, as well as the weather forecast. Stay with us. Ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride taxi service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
John Lewis Styles proudly introduces Everest Bags, a complete and affordable line especially suited for back to school. Lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, pulley backpacks from $10,995. Also available are messenger bags, computer bags, waist pouches, duffel bags, gym bags, and even camping bags, all for the same price or less than buying online. And it's already here on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. Now for news from the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, nursing students attached to the University of the Southern Caribbean on Tuesday morning gathered with their union representatives in front of the Ministry of Education to protest for non-payment of stipends. CNews reports.
Nursing students attached to the University of the Southern Caribbean this morning gathered with their union representatives in front of the Ministry of Education to protest for non-payment of stipends. Members of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association and the Registered Nurses Association stood with the students who say they have not been paid in 13 months. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association, Edie Stewart, said this is unacceptable.
The nurses union really, we don't want to be out here, but we have to stand in solidarity with our Student Nurses Association today in the plight that they have been having in excess of 13 months plus. Since July, actually, 2016, they have not been paid their stipend. A very small amount, $800 a month, yet it is vital in fulfilling the needs as a student nurse.
He said the students play an important role in the healthcare system.
Ministry of Education and the self-professed Woodman of the Year, unfortunately, who has refused apparently to sign a cabinet note to ensure stipend is allocated to the nursing students. So, and we want to reiterate, the students play an important part in nursing due to the fact that there's a crisis in the nursing fraternity. There's not enough nurses. There are shortages run rife throughout all RHAs. It is the students who have to take up the slack.
And internationally, British MPs have given their first approval to a bill that would give ministers power to bypass Parliament and create new laws. BBC News has more.
There are still those who demand the UK remains in the European Union, but judging by this tiny protest outside Parliament, increasingly few believe it's actually possible. The debate and vote were just one stage of an enormous process, albeit an extremely important one. The government wants to hand power to ministers to be able to change EU laws into British ones without consulting Parliament. Many opposition politicians say that is a threat to democracy, but a notable number who support Brexit voted not with their party but with the government's. Brexit, they said, must be made to happen.
I knew it would be complicated and I knew it would be difficult, and I knew we would see something of what we're seeing now, which is a rearguard reaction from those people who prefer the European Union to make our laws rather than the people of the United Kingdom. There will be a bare-knuckle fight, I'm sure.
Turn this bill into one. The ruling Conservatives ordered every single MP to toe the line, even the most passionate pro-Europeans.
For me, there's no two more fundamental British values than democracy and the rule of law. And this bill strikes at the heart of both democracy and the rule of law, because it prevents Parliament from scrutinising laws and it prevents the courts from ensuring that ministers don't abuse their powers.
Order. The question is that the
Had the government lost the vote, it probably would have collapsed. It didn't, so the process moves on. It's all enormously difficult, though. For supporters of Brexit, the whole point is to make the country more democratic, to increase parliamentary sovereignty, and yet the complaint is they're doing something profoundly anti-democratic to get there, and that's very uncomfortable for many MPs. It's also procedural. As of yet, there is nobody in there offering any clear vision as to what Britain is supposed to look like after Brexit in 2019. Lawrence Lee, Al Jazeera, in London.
And now for the weather forecast. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 on Facebook, YouTube, and ch2headlinenews.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for rebroadcast, and Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying Thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.